What's going on, guys? Kivox here and Meekachii. We're doing our mother wrap-up and TBR.
Super late,
If you didn't get that,
but
TBR wrap-up, June into July.
yep.
It's July. No big deal. Don't worry about it. What do we usually start off with?
Wrap up.
Yeah. I only read one book, guys.
I read 5.
I did terrible.
But 3 of them were really small, so
I'm training somebody at work. I'm with them all day long.
so you can't listen to
I
audiobooks.
can't listen to audiobooks. I was able to finish one at least, but luckily I was almost done with it by the, so that's what I've been dealing with. Hopefully this month it ends and then I can get back to normal. I have so many books I want to read and that I've started. What are we doing first? This. Oh yeah, we have these. These are the books that we've read. I go over this every month, but I feel like some of you guys may be new. These are our books. We rate them. Technically DNF to star. It's a weird rating system. There's technically like 11 spots that things could go.
So we do still have new people coming on because someone just commented that they were new and they liked this.
Yeah, this is a great idea. Everybody should do this.
They wanted to buy one, but I was like, sorry, we don't sell them.
Yeah, maybe we could. I don't know. It seems like
Yeah.
it's a lot of work. This part right
lot.
here takes me like an hour to just like wind up. But anyway,
They would be more expensive to make than they would be to like.
well, people can't really make this by hand. But anyway, that's another thing.
Yeah,
Let's get into it. You want to just start off with both of our books that we read?
Sure.
So we read Shade's First Rule.
By
by
AFK.
AFK. This was our...
You gotta show them.
This,
Because we don't have
oh,
the
yeah,
book.
we don't have the... This was our
Book
book
club.
book for the
Month of June.
month of June. And...
The lit RPG.
mhm.
I'm just gonna finish all your sentences. You can like start. I really liked it.
Me too.
It was I liked the characters. I liked the plot.
I thought it... Yep. But it was a lit RPG. If you don't know anything
it's
about...
very statty.
Oh, very statty. That is the main like gripe that the audiobook has.
Yeah.
Is that like...
They'll be like saying stats for 2 minutes.
So if you guys know RPGs, you know you have like strength, dexterity, all that stuff, right? Now imagine you taking your character sheet and just reading that off to somebody.
It got kind of boring. But I feel like it would be much better in like a physical format.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
some people read it. I think T read it in a physical format. And it's better because, you can skim over that.
But you don't get the awesome, like, what is it called?
Narration?
No, presentation. No. Forget it.
We said a lot. So if you've read this book, we did do a live stream. So there's a full spoilery, I can't English, live stream for it.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. I liked it.
What'd you
give it?
Take yours.
I gave it a 4.
Wow, look at you. Look at you, see where I put mine?
On your eye.
It's pretty cool, right? This is my holder. Can you wow, I opened up yours for you. Couldn't you at least open up mine so that I could go like this? I gave it... No?
Nope.
You can't help me? Can you hold that, please? Wow, look at you. I gave it also a 4. I got it. I got to do this straight up. I'm not gonna be able to do it on. Put it straight. Boop, boop, boop. I gave it also a 4. I have a little lump. I have a little lump here of 4s. Dude, I did not read enough books this year. My goal is 30. I got like 10, 5, 10, 5,
10.
6, 7, 8, 9, 13, 18. I got 25 books.
Yeah, it was good. If you like lit RPGs and that's kind of your thing, it had a decent plot. It had some good characters and a fun story.
Oh, my one gripe with it is that like it just like I feel like it didn't have a true
story
like
arc.
climax.
Yeah.
Like there was no like big part of the story that I was just like, whoa, that was super cool, and then it like tapers down. It was just kind of like cool, and then it ended, and then it's just like there's a big cliffhanger at the end though for the next book.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I enjoyed myself throughout reading it. It wasn't like the best book, so I mean, obviously I didn't give it a 5, but I enjoyed myself through the whole thing. How many books did I read?
5. You read 5 books. Oh, total this year?
Something like 20 something. I can't see.
I don't know.
Anywho, then I read some wrapped books. So Kivox wrapped this book. I'm just gonna kind of do these all at once.
Yeah.
He wrapped
The Wayward Children books.
Which ones did you wrap? You wrapped
The 2 paperbacks, I think.
No, you wrapped these 2.
Then why'd you ask? If you already know the answer.
So I didn't read number 2, and then this is number 5, so I felt like I should read 4 first, so I read 2, 4, and 5. I've already read number 3, which is fine because they sort of don't go in order. I would recommend reading this before reading this. So technically, I would read it in the order you kind of are supposed to read it. 1 through 5. But I kind of screwed it up. But I made up for it. So, this book, I really liked this book. This one was probably my favorite out of all of them. It follows Jack and Jill, and you find out about how they went into their world and what happened in their world, and I really, really enjoyed this one. This one, I enjoyed as well. I enjoyed it a little less. This one is like a character I don't believe we've met before, and she goes into a world that is full of, like, rules and logic, and, you have to, like... No, it was about, logic and reason. But their whole thing was, like, you have to give equally at...
Equivalent exchange.
Yeah, basically.
To obtain something of equal value
there's,
must be lost.
a term that they say all the time that I cannot remember now, but whatever. Exactly, equivalent exchange. So, like... In this world, like, if I give you a loaf of bread...
I should give you a loaf of bread.
No, you have to,
I should punch you in the face. I should make you a sandwich
ask, like,
with that loaf of bread.
A pencil for it, because to you, a pencil is of the same value as that. So it's like... It's like...
Can you eat a pencil? Yes, but it doesn't
like
taste good.
Equivalent value. I don't know. It was good. I liked the characters.
Isn't that just called trade?
Yeah. But it's...
Isn't that what money is?
Kind of.
That's literally what money is.
But it was very, like, logical with rules and stuff. And, like, I like that way more than I like the nonsensical worlds. Thank goodness none of these were, like, too nonsense for me. Because that was my gripe with book 3. Didn't really love that one. And then, Come Tumbling Down is, like... What?
It's the egg. The egg. Is it the egg?
Oh.
Is it about the egg man?
No. It's like,
Robotnik?
So you should read book 1 definitely before. I feel like this is the direct sequel to book 1, even though it's 4 books later or 5 books, whatever. I didn't love this one. I don't know. A lot of the characters were annoying to me. I didn't really care about the plot. It wasn't my favorite plot. It was just kind of like, okay. So let's see. Down Among the Sticks and Bones. I think I originally thought I was going to give it a 4.5. I think I'm going to give it a 4. Nah, I'll give it a 4.5.
Oh my god. This is why you shouldn't, like, you're giving it a 4 now. That's not even straight, man. Look, and now it's peeling up.
I was gonna say, because I did like that one better than this one, and I want to
You should have given that a 3.
This one a 4, and then this one, the 5th one, I was gonna give a 3.5, but I think it's a 3.
All right.
It's all right.
I'll allow it.
Then I read one more book.
The Toll. You read The Toll. I wanted to read it, but I didn't have time.
The Toll by Neil Shusterman. I obviously can't say anything about this book.
How was it, though?
Truly, because it was the...
How was it? Say it to me.
Last
Tell me.
in a trilogy.
Was it better? Was it good? Was it as good as 1 and 2? Was it worse?
I don't remember what I rated 1 and 2, but
I could tell you in a sec if we read it last year.
I don't know. So even though this was the biggest book out of the trilogy, I felt like, so I did listen to the audiobook, but I felt like it went so fast. Like, I felt like the author, even though we haven't read these in almost 2 years now, I feel like the author did a really good job at calling back to certain things, so I didn't have to, like, research to remember what happened in the previous books. I really enjoyed it. Like, I actually liked the ending quite a bit. I know a lot of people really didn't love this book, but to me it was just a quick read, and it was an interesting read, and it was a decent ending to the series, in my opinion. I didn't overly love it, but I did really enjoy I feel like the whole series as a whole, and this didn't disappoint me like it did some people. And I don't really know why it disappointed other people. I know where it fell a little short for me, but I can't really talk about that because it's the ending. So
what did you give it, Meek? Now that you know what you gave the other ones.
So I guess I gave Scythe a 4 and Thunderhead a 4.5. I'm going to say this is a 4. I had a good reading month, apparently. A lot of 4s.
Pretty good.
I'm interested to see what you think of the ending.
Me too. So now that we're done with our wrap-up, now that we wrapped up our wrap-up...
Nah. We have our TBR.
TBR. So with our TBR, do we want to start with the wrapped books?
We have a D6.
D6.
Baby.
You want to grab it? So at the beginning of I started this about 10 years ago? I started wrapping these for this specific occasion. At the beginning of the year, we started unwrapping 10, 12 of these.
Wow.
There are 12 months. We did one for each month. One of them, though, was a double book. That was like a surprise. That was last month. Because they were both short. So I was like, I'm going to put 2 in there. And apparently I didn't ask for permission. I just did it because I'm a jerk. So I'm going to shuffle these a little bit here. These are random books from your TBR shelf. And we have, 6?
Yeah.
So now we have 6. You're going to roll a D6. And you could roll it right on top of here. 1. That was easy.
I like this paper.
Is it creepy paper?
Is it creepy paper? So, I don't know what these books are either. Like, he picked
That's
them
the
out.
thing. I.
Well, some people wrap their own TBR.
Oh, that's no fun. It's more fun when your husband does it for you.
And not everyone has that. Oh, you want to read this book.
I can't read it.
Dark Matter by Blake Crouch.
I can't do it, Mick. I'm not going to be able to do it this month. It's another book that I want to read that I'm not going to be able to read.
Every time I read this synopsis, you're like, dude, I want to read this book.
The cover's cool, too.
The cover is cool. So it says, "Are you happy with your life?" Those are the last words Jason Dessen hears before the masked abductor knocks him unconscious. Before he awakens to find himself strapped to a gurney surrounded by strangers in hazmat suits. Before a man Jason's never met smiles down at him and says, "Welcome back, my friend." In this world he's woken up to, Jason's life is not the one he knows. His wife is not his wife, and his son was never born. And Jason is not an ordinary college physics professor, but a celebrated genius who has achieved something remarkable, something impossible. Like, I don't want to read more than that. I hear it's a very, like, almost creepy and, like, trippy and...
Oh, so you're not going to like it.
I don't know.
You don't like stuff like that, Meek.
We'll see.
You don't like trippy, like... timey-wimey stuff.
You do.
I do.
So I'll see if I like it. It's gotten a lot of praise over the years. Now you want to read this.
What do we do? What do we do next?
Yeah!
This one's next?
Yeah. This is my sequel TBR jar. You opened them, remember?
Capturing the Devil.
Oh, it's the last book in...
Go get it. Where is it? I think they're
I
right
need
there.
to get it.
They're right there.
Oh,
Ooh, it's signed?
Forgot I had a signed copy of this. Capturing the Devil by Carrie Maniscalco, which is the final book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series.
Dude, that thing is like holographic. That's like a Pokemon card.
Yeah, it is. I just really enjoy these books. I know they're not for everyone, but like I love the characters and I think the stories are really cool because they're kind of fantasy mixed with real life.
Oh, I like that.
Ish. There's a very slight little bit amount of fantasy in there, enough to make it like interesting. And it's set, I believe, in the 1800s, and they just arrived in America, and that's where this takes place. Is it the same person? It's the same girl.
This whole time?
Yeah.
Is the timeline correct?
What do you mean?
Because she's like she's like finding Dracula at some point, and then Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, well,
and then did all these things happen like around the same time?
I don't.
Is this the World's Fair one?
Yeah.
What happens at the World's Fair? What giant, like what big, like, you know, historical event happens there? Besides cotton candy being invented.
They're in Chicago.
There's another
I don't know. I just love these characters, and I think these stories are super interesting.
Let me ask you my stupid question.
Cool.
Let me ask you the stupid question. Did you know that a dentist invented cotton candy?
No.
Okay. Now you know.
So I don't know how I'm going to do this month because these books are big and it's already like the 8th of the month and I haven't finished a book yet. And I also decided to do a read along with Chelsea, Bree, and Christy on our Patreon Discord server. So it's going to be interesting.
It's okay though. You started a bunch of books, right?
No, I only started one. So.
Okay.
Well, two.
Close enough.
So the book club pick was going to be Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. So I apologize if you've already started reading that, if you were part of the live stream where we announced that. I tried reading it. I could not get into it right now. I fell asleep every single time I tried to read it. And even the audiobook, I tried listening. I think I listened to about an hour of it and I just kept zoning out.
Remember when I said I don't like older books? I just can't get into them for some reason.
This one, it seemed interesting, but it was just, I was not feeling it.
It's like there's just a disconnect. It's like TV shows and movies, like older TV shows and movies. Sorry if you like them. I'm not saying you can't. Just to me.
They talk about this in the Sight book, remember?
No.
How, like, those people don't understand, like, books about, like, death and losing people and, like, losing loved ones because they don't really... A lot of people don't experience that in their world. I can understand that. So I went on to, again, the Patreon Discord server and talked to our book group, and we decided to read Gideon the Ninth instead. I don't think he's going to read this.
Well, you guys made this decision without me.
We did.
So I don't want to read it. Like, I would have said no. I would have not voted for that book. So, like, I don't think the synopsis sounds good. So I don't want to read it. It's not my kind of book, so I don't want to
read the synopsis again because I started this book and I'm enjoying it so far. I'm not very far into it. It's better than I thought it was going to be so far. But every time I read the synopsis, I'm like, ugh, like that does not sound too great.
Sounds terrible.
So I'm not going to read it again. If you guys want to know what it's about, you can look it up or whatever. But anyone can join the book club, so if you want to join, all you have to do is read the book, go on our live stream July 26th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and talk about it with us, and that's it. Or if you've already read it, feel free to join, and we talk a lot of spoilery stuff. But it's better than I thought so far. And then my buddy read...
I'm jealous. I don't have any books that I'm reading.
So we all...
Oh, wait, I do. I can talk about my books next.
All right, you'll talk about your books.
Next.
We discovered that Bree, Christy, and Chelsea, and myself all got Mexican Gothic this month. Obviously, it was a Book of the Month pick, but I don't think they all got it on that. Anywho, we all wanted to read this. I'm not going to read the synopsis for this either because it doesn't sound amazing, but it sounds interesting enough where I wanted to read it. And then it got really good reviews so far. And it's supposed to be kind of like a thriller and creepy and like a a creepy old mansion, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So we're doing a read along for this book, and I'm excited. The end.
Oh,
that's enough for me. Oh my god! Like,
what
how
about
am I
me?
gonna read this?
I started reading. My phone's loading right now. The land.
Oh yeah.
The land founding.
Foundling or founding? I can't
Founding.
see it. Oh yeah. By who?
Chaos Seeds, book 1.
Show them the picture.
Oh yeah. That's what it looks like, and it's pretty cool. It's very litty. It's very much a lit RPG. It says here that it's
the original lit RPG.
How do I?
Yeah, it's like impossible.
It says the father of American lit RPGs, the classic lit RPG standard. It is very lit RPG. Character basically pulled from the real world, playing a game, goes into a new world with like
Sword Art Online.
No, not like that. Like it's not like it's like there's some demons and some deals going on, and like the game itself, they tell you right at the beginning of this, okay? It's not a spoiler, but the game itself is like put on Earth in a way to make like when you sign up for the game, it's like you're making a deal with like the creators of the game, as like you'll give up your soul, and you know when you die you give up your soul, and but like the game was created by like these devils or demons or whatever, you know, and the main character gets like sucked into another world that has all these rules, these like video game rules basically, and they level up, and it's like you get the voice in your head type thing, like saying like you've been chosen for this quest. Do you want to accept type thing? Yes, like that other book. It's very good. They haven't like talked about number stats really. They haven't done that like page of stats, which I don't mind. I think it's fine if they do that in a book, but it's tough when you have to read it. You know, when you have to just listen to somebody reading off stats. This one's pretty good so far. I would say it's like a 4. For me right now, but I'm only a couple hours in. Maybe. So
is that the only book you want to read?
So I want to read that, or I want to finish that.
Your book came out.
My book came out.
Diamantine.
So I want to read that as well by
Andrew Rose.
No, it's gonna stop. This is Audible. I want to read this one too.
Also read by Nick Podell.
Yeah, Nick Podell's the bomb, dude. He reads
a lot of fantasy. Not even
RPGs.
like fantasy. It's like lit RPGs.
Yeah. So this one's cool because this is the
He's
second.
He's a good audio narrator.
This is the second book in the what is this one called? This series, the Weapons and Wielders. The first one was 6 Sacred Swords. Mm-hmm. This one's the second book in that, that one was honestly like one of my favorites.
Dude,
like
because there were not too many characters, which makes it like
it was very focused on Karis.
And
him. He was telling the story.
Yeah.
And it was his point of view, and that was the best part about it.
I like the minimalistic character, like how there's not too many of them, and I liked the world.
The comic. What
relief.
I'm concerned about is like, who is this one around?
It's not around him.
I don't know, because like remember what happens at the end of the 6 Sacred Swords?
No, you have to tell me later.
So they basically, because he's telling a story about that sword, about Dawnbringer, and then at the end something happens and they get like preoccupied with something else.
I think that's where you go back to the other.
But there isn't one yet. There hasn't been a book 3 yet.
Yeah.
That's why I'm confused. Like it would make sense if that book came out first and then this one.
The physical book.
So that's why I'm worried that like this is going to be about somebody else that I don't care about, that I don't know yet, like another character.
I wish I had bought the physical book. I forgot about it.
But who cares? It's in that world. It's going to be cool. I love that world that he's created. Andrew Rowe, by the way, is the author. So I wanted to read that. I also want to read this book here by if you guys know
I think it's about Carrie.
If you guys know who the Shadiversary or Shat. What is it called?
What are you trying to
Shadiversary,
say?
right? Shad is a name. It's a person's name, not Chad.
Chad.
No. Shad.
That's not a real name.
It is a real
that
name.
I know of.
It is a real name. He's Australian. He does like a lot of medieval videos and stuff.
Okay.
That's where I learned that katanas are kind of trash compared to what we think katanas are. You know how we think katanas are like the coolest things ever because we watch anime and stuff. They're like decent swords, but they're not better than a lot of other swords. You know what I mean? But anyway, he wrote a book, and it's gotten really good reviews. And this is the one that that the Fed shared with us.
Oh,
and we got for free.
That? Okay.
Yeah, he's the one. He read it, and
if you don't know, you can share Audible books with one person one time.
Yeah, so he shared that one with us because he said it was really good, and he's like, dude, it's crazy. That was like kind of like his response to it. He's like, it's just a crazy book. It's not really like a lit RPG. It's more just like a fantasy book. And so when he came out with the book, and I was watching a video about his book because he was talking about it on his channel, and Shad is his name. Shadiversary I think is the name. Oh, that was your tummy. You're gross. Now burp. Did you burp? It looks like you swallowed. That's how I burp too.
I have to like.
Anyway, he was talking about the science in his book, and there's like a process. As far as I know, I haven't started reading it yet, but there's a process of making like a blade, right? And you can make a blade out of wood and then transfer. So you make it out of something, right?
Is this real life or just in his book?
In the book.
Oh. You're giving away way too much information.
This is what he gave away when he was talking about like the science behind the book.
Okay.
So, I haven't read the book yet. So like I know this going in. So anyway, there's like a process of making like weapons and stuff in that series. And you know how like you can only get so much strength out of like a sword because
you can only fold it so many times.
But also like its weight, right? It weighs a lot and it's super heavy, and you can only make it so thin without it being weak. But with this process, you can make like a sword out of like wood, and then make it into the metal. So it'll keep all the properties of that wood when it comes to weight and like thinness, but it'll be as stronger than, you know what I mean? You'll make it stronger than like the metal or whatever it's made out of. Like, but basically you can transfer something from being like, you know, like made out of paper. It's like this thin, right? It's like paper thin, but it's stronger than like a metal sword. You know what I mean? So now it being this thin would allow it to cut through like a razor blade, but it wouldn't bend because it's hard, right? Weird stuff like that. I don't really know.
So you're reading The Land Diamantine and then that weird book. What is it called?
It's called Shadow of the Conqueror.
Okay. By who again?
Shad M. Brooks. Dropped my phone. What's his name? Shad. What is it? How do you spell it? With a shad in the front of it. It's Chad Bashad instead. Huh? How about that? How about that?
Put up with every day.
All I'm saying is that you made me feel like I was an idiot, but now.
All right, is that all you're reading? Or what
I guess I'm not allowed to talk about my books. All right, I guess I'm not allowed to talk. So yeah, I guess that's all I'm reading.
What about The Toll?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not even gonna read all of these, but this is what I want to read. I'm gonna probably get one done.
Are you gonna do the major readathon in August?
Hell no, I'm not doing that. I don't like readathons. I think they are no fun. They ruin books for me.
They usually put me into reading slumps, so I don't know why I continue.
I don't want to do it. They're not fun, man. They're fun to do like once. I did there was one year I did like 4 freaking readathons, and I remember not remembering some books because I just read them in like a day. I read like a book in a day, 7 books in 1 week, and it was just like, it was just not fun. It's just like I was stressing out about it. Like, I gotta get this done. I just don't want to do it anymore. Don't want to do it. I read the books I want to read, and if I don't want to read them anymore, I stop.
All right.
I guess that's it. Sorry for talking too much. Are we even recording right now?
Oh my god.
Who knows? Did I have too many books to read? Because it looks like you had like 6 books, and I could only talk about 3 before you got annoyed about it.
Your 3 was like double the length
Because
of my
I'm
whole thing.
explaining why I want to read these books. People may want to know, like, oh, why the hell would you want to read that over this crappy book about gothic people? What is this even about?
I don't want to know.
Oh, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment with your TBR down below, and if you guys read any of these books that we're reading, I'm just straight up sticking with like fantasy, lit, amazing, lit in all the ways, except for the fiery way.
If you guys are a patron and you want to join the read along, you can. It's not strictly limited to us 4 that are doing it, so that's an option. And then anybody, whether you're a patron or not, can join the book club, which is July 26th.
For Gideon the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification button. All right. Say bye, Meek.
Bye.
You
Meek.
wait. No. You ruin it every time. Just kidding.
Oh.
Bye.